Dun, da, da, da. And now we have our first essay. And our first essay is an autoethnography. Have you ever heard of that word? If you haven't, let's break it down. We start with the prefix auto, which means self. So let's think back to a biography versus an autobiography. Now, let's think about, let's say maybe Abraham Lincoln. So a biography of Abraham Lincoln is just an account of Abraham Lincoln's life. But now an autobiography, because it means self, what do you think that would be? Well, yes, an autobiography would be, let's say, if Abraham Lincoln wrote an account of his own life, okay? So we have self. Ethno means people. Graphy means writing. So let's look at this. Self, people, writing. What could this be? Well, simply put, it's just the detailing or description of a people or culture. Have you ever turned on PBS or BBC or National Geographic and maybe you tune in to a program about a cultural anthropologist going down to the Amazon and spending a year with some remote tribe, and then afterward the whole documentary is telling you about, you know, what this tribe believes happens when they die. What are the roles of men and women, or what do the clothes mean, or maybe like what does music mean to them, or what are some rites of passages, what about their food, all those detailings, the detailing or description of people or culture. Now here's the neat thing, that would be an ethnography, right? But because we're doing an autoethnography, you're gonna like this. It's gonna be about something that you're a part of, so it'll be a lot easier and fun. So check this out. Let's go ahead and open our prompt. This is it here. So here we have soccer player Patrick. Maybe that's you. Rock climbing rat. This will be you sooner than you think, my friends. Graduating. We have video games. We have the gym. Okay, so let's get into it. Whether conscious of it or not, we're all part of different communities, and our participations within them are distinct. Here's the task. Number 1, consider one of the communities that you belong to. The trick for this is to focalize your attention upon one community. Don't choose a ton, okay? This can be either personal or professional. So, you can choose work if you're a dental assistant for a dentist, or you work at Subway, or you work at Walmart, or you want to do personal. Maybe maybe you make YouTube content. Whatever the case may be, this is a chance for you to talk about something that you're really into and really dig. So it's a cool thing. So hey, describe it. You know, think of this. How is it characterized? How is it perceived? Here come our concepts. How would you characterize it as a community of practice? And this, my friends, is when having the printed out flashcard of community of practice would help. Remember that one? Let's see. Let's pull that up again. Why not? Pourquoi pas? There we go. So it's helpful to have this flashcard out as you're looking at the prompt again. Okay, so there we have it. How would you characterize it as a community of practice? Cool. So if I was a dental assistant at the dentist's office, then I'd be like, okay, what's the shared goal? Well, I would say facilitating the dentist's work, and even learning and growing in my own field, right? How do we learn through interactions? Well, by interacting with the dentist or other dental assistants or whatever the case may be. The tips and tricks, you know, the shared knowledge. Just what might those tips and tricks be to better achieve my goal as a dental assistant? Okay. Second one, how about a discourse community? what might the identity kit be within this community that I have in mind? As a dental assistant, let's say. So, you know, what are some example of the words and language that I use as a dental assistant? What are some values that I have? Like, of course, hygiene, organization, right? Helpfulness, yeah? Having a good attitude, things like that. Patience, that would be a big one. Okay. How do people behave and speak in your selected community? Do they dress in a particular way? So be thinking about this, okay? Think of the words, of the slang. You know, what things does your community value? Let's say, for example, you are really into a tabletop game. I don't know, maybe you're like a Monopoly fanatic, the Monopoly board game. So if you have that in mind, you know, think of some of the words, think of some of the values, you know, like within there, strategy, right? Being cunning, whatever planning ahead, whatever the case may be. Because these two concepts are central to this paper, you absolutely must introduce and reference these articles. And a bit later on, we're going to talk about in-text citations. But we actually have some student sample essays of students who have written this paper. So you'll get a little sample of what that might look like. So introduce the concepts and obviously cite them as coming from their respective articles. So, okay, obviously it's not just reporting like, here, let me tell you about this community. Tell me about your own personal connection to it. What's your own place in it? So if you're in a basketball team, you know, what's your position? If you work at Amazon, exactly what do you do? You know, what's your position? What's your place in it? If you're a skater, you know, well, what kind of skater? Downhill skater, like I think they call it slalom. Street skater, vert skater, like be as specific as you can. Focalize your attention as much as possible. How do you contribute to your community? Do you participate within a particular niche of it? So again, focalizing your attention. How does this community fit into a larger picture? So again, if I was saying skateboarding, then focalize like particularly what kind of skating. All right. Like if you want to say college student, then focalize it even more to Chafee college student, right? Which is part of a larger picture of the community college, right? Community. So again, it's kind of like that. Like your community has a place in a larger sphere, right? So think of it like that. Like, just where does my community fit within a larger picture, okay? So for this paper, it's going to be at least 3.5 pages, double spaced. It's going to obviously have a works cited page since you're citing these two articles. And life hack, time for our life hack. So you can actually take a look at the student sample essays that I'm going to show you where they are. You can just look at the works cited page and just copy that into your final draft. Because if you'll notice, you know, it's actually worth points if you have correct MLA and works cited page. And we're going to talk, actually, we did talk about MLA in the last module, didn't we? For this class, right? It's because I have 3 classes. I'm at 2 schools. So I'm like, what do we talk about? But yeah, I know we did that. We talked about thesis statements and we talked about MLA setup. So make sure to flex that gray matter there and apply what you learned there. So the essay's worth 100. Peer review workshop. Okay, so for our 4 essays, guys, we're going to have a peer review workshop online, and it's going to be cool because so you submit your rough draft and then the Canvas system, a minute after the deadline, is going to send you 3 drafts at random from your classmates, and we're gonna talk about more how we're gonna do that, and I'll show you the cool things we could do with Canvas and how to look at one another's drafts, and it'll be cool. So that'll be 20, and this will be 5, so 125 total. First thing we have is our brainstorm, which is due by next Sunday. That's our first step. Our workshop is the next module, so next week. Final draft is due the 20th. Remember what I told you on the first module? I said, hey, have a mission control and write your deadlines in. Now's the time. This is a tight picture, huh? Get all that air. Seems like he's at a school or something. That's so cool. Okay. That's it actually for the prompt itself. I want to show you how to access the student sample essays. Here's the prompt. They are here. Okay, so check these out. The first one, they're all anonymous. These are iterations of students who got at least a 90%. So you can see some ideas of what it might look like. This person spoke about their place in the volleyball team, in the school volleyball team. You can check it out with more detail. This second one, let's see what they wrote about. This person, what is it? Stay-at-home mom. This student, this was cool. I did not know this. There's a curly hair community. I think it was I did not know about that. It was so rad to learn for me. I was like, wow, that's rad. I didn't know that. So you can check this one out with more detail if you wish. It's always helpful to look at samples, I feel. This one. Stay-at-home mom. Yeah. I hope I didn't repeat. Hope I did not repeat. No, this is not the stay-at-home mom. This is the Chafee student. Okay. That's you. That's all of you. Okay. And then this one is like, I started a draft. So first of all, what's a draft? A draft is just, I'm asking you to please write at least 2 pages, okay? At least please write 2 pages. There's no such thing as a perfect first draft. Just get out your ideas, as crass as it sounds, vomit it out. Okay, like me. Like if I was gonna do this paper, I gotta just really rough. Like it doesn't have to be nice, it doesn't have to be clean. That's part of the whole writing process. Me, I'm a drummer. I've played drums since I was 13. So I wrote about my drum lessons, and it really helps to have the 2 flashcards for community of practice and discourse, to have those handy. I know I had that. There we go. Just to make sure, how is it that yours fits into that, into those concepts, okay? Because remember you're viewing your community through these 2 lenses, okay? Who were looking at mine? So I was thinking about like, okay, you know, the language includes things like that pertain to drum notation or even just rhythm, right, and things like that. So these are just some little notes that I was like, okay, if I were to continue this, I would want to continue to answer this. Like, how do I contribute? How do I fit into the larger picture of drumming? Like me, you know, I'm really into funk and jazz drumming. Like I like the funky stuff, the jazzy stuff. So that's me, you know. There's other types of drummers. So that's just one type of drumming in a larger drumming universe. Okay. And please be clever with your titles. I call mine Keeping Time, because that's what we drummers do. Okay, so those are the student sample essays. The brainstorm, which is also part of this week's module, which is due by Sunday, as you'll notice. All the deadlines will always be up here. So first thing is to download the document itself. So it's just a T-chart, okay? Number 1, you'll see here at the bottom, is what your community of practice is that you have in mind. Listen, you're not signing in blood. You're not committing like with, you know, concrete. It's just your current thought, okay? Just choose something. If you think it's like, choose something that you're a part of that you think is really cool. Taekwondo, you know, guitar, drumming, Monopoly board game fanatic, your job at I keep saying dentist's office, but maybe your job at after school program, whatever the case may be. So first thing that you're going to do with this brainstorm is to actually write in it. You could just double click here and you can type. So I can just say like, I don't know, drummer. That's my community of practice. Next one. So I would, for this brainstorm, I would have my flashcard in front of me and I could be like, okay, how does the drum, okay, first of all, we see it's personal. So then I could be like, oh, first of all, here's a little trick. If you want, first of all, double click it if you want to type in there. There we go. If you want to make bullet points, go to format, go to bullets and numbering. I'm a fan of bullet points and just like hyphens. I like demarcating sections. It's visually helpful. Okay, so if I choose that, boom, there's my bullets. Okay, so I could be like, so I'll have this in front of you, like, oh, drumming, and this is just, you know, off the cuff, just brainstorming. Drumming is a personal, I could say it, my computer's slowing down a little bit. It's like, I guess I need a little more RAM or something, I don't know. Drumming is my personal COP, right? And then I could be like, okay, what's the shared goal or shared objective of drumming? And I could be like, the shared goal / objective of drumming is, and I can talk about how within the context of music and bands, because we're a big part of the rhythm section, us and bass, we help keep the time, right? And lay down that metric, yeah? Okay, so have this in front of you, and as you go over the what of your community practice, it can be, remember, both either personal or professional. Then I get into the discourse. I could be like, okay, what are some of the words that I use in drumming? Okay, polyrhythm, cadences, you know, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, 32nd notes, you know, paradiddles, things like that. So think of the language, think of the if clothes apply in your community of practice, then just start listing them, okay? So this is going to be helpful. And actually that game, if you play that game, the matching game that I was saying, of the different ones, like that you're looking at the card, that's going to help you a lot to internalize the concepts. And also PAL sessions, if you want to work with Brianna and have your hand at this, try your hand at this game. Okay, so when you do that, just save the document as one of the accepted formats, doc, docx, or PDF, and just submit it in here. And that's due by Sunday by 11:59 p.m. That's it. That's it, my friends. I opened up a lot of stuff. Let's just quit Word. All right, well, now we have a clear screen. So with that being said, my friends, thank you so much for working hard, and keep at it, and enjoy your week. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.